Failure is the key to success. Each mistake teaches us something. Morihei Ueshiba. Failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor. Truman Capote. Do not brood over your past mistakes and failures, as this will only fill your mind with grief, regret and depression. Do not repeat them in the future. Swami Sivananda. Do not be embarrassed by your failures, learn from them and start again. Richard Branson. An essential aspect of creativity is not being afraid to fail. Edwin Land. Do not fear mistakes. You will know failure. Continue to reach out. Benjamin Franklin. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Napoleon Hill. A failure is not always a mistake, it may simply be the best one can do under the circumstances. The real mistake is to stop trying. B. F. Skinner. Every failure is a step to success. William Hewell. It's fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure. Bill Gates. The season of failure is the best time for sowing the seeds of success. Paramahansa Yogananda. A man can fail many times, but he isn't a failure until he begins to blame somebody else. John Burroughs. It is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you have failed by default. J. K. Rowling. Failure is always an option. Adam Savage. I can accept failure, everyone fails at something. But I can't accept not trying. Michael Jordan. I can accept failure, everyone fails at something. But I can't accept not trying. Michael Jordan. You always pass failure on your way to success. Mickey Rooney. It's best to have failure happen early in life. It wakes up the phoenix bird in you so you rise from the ashes. And Baxter. Failure should be our teacher, not our undertaker. Failure is delay, not defeat. It is a temporary detour, not a dead end. Failure is something we can avoid only by saying nothing, doing nothing, and being nothing. Dennis Waitley. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Thomas A. Edison. Failure is a word unknown to me. Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Remember that failure is an event, not a person. Zig Ziglar. Ambition is the last refuge of the failure. Oscar Wilde. Do not brood over your past mistakes and failures, as this will only fill your mind with grief, regret and depression. Do not repeat them in the future. Swami Sivananda. If you're not failing every now and again, it's a sign you're not doing anything very innovative. Woody Allen. You make mistakes. Mistakes don't make you. Maxwell Maltz. Failures, repeated failures, are finger posts on the road to achievement. One fails forward toward success. C. S. Lewis. My fault, my failure, is not in the passions I have, but in my lack of control of them. Jack Kerouac. The person interested in success has to learn to view failure as a healthy, inevitable part of the process of getting to the top. Joyce Brothers. Success isn't permanent and failure isn't fatal. Mike Ditka. Losing is no disgrace if you've given your best. Jim Palmer. Through perseverance, many people win success out of what seemed destined to be certain failure. Benjamin Disraeli. You cannot climb the ladder of success dressed in the costume of failure. Zig Ziglar. The way most people fail is in not keeping up the heart. Lady Gregory. Failure happens all the time. It happens every day in practice. What makes you better is how you react to it. Mia Hamm. Never walk away from failure. On the contrary, study it carefully and imaginatively for its hidden assets. Michael Korda. I never see failure as failure, but only as the game I must play and win. Tom Hopkins. Don't be afraid of failure, be afraid of petty success. Maud Adams. Don't be afraid of missing opportunities. Behind every failure is an opportunity somebody wishes they had missed. Lily Tomlin. A person who doubts himself is like a man who would enlist in the ranks of his enemies and bear arms against himself. He makes his failure certain by himself being the first person to be convinced of it. Alexander Dumas. We have 40 million reasons for failure, but not a single excuse. Rudyard Kipling. When I was young, I observed that 9 out of 10 things I did were failures. So I did 10 times more work. George Bernard Shaw. Indecision and delays are the parents of failure. George Canning. Notice the difference between what happens when a man says to himself, "I have failed 3 times, and what happens when he says, "I am a failure." I. Hayakawa. Success is never final, but failure can be. Bill Parcells. I don't know the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everybody. Bill Cosby. For every failure, there's an alternative course of action. You just have to find it. When you come to a roadblock, take a detour. Mary Kay Ash.